Young and the Restless Spoilers. Welcome back to our channel. Today is a beautifully chaotic day in the soap universe, and we have so much to unpack together. Grab your iced coffees. Take a deep breath and let's get right into the absolute madness. You guys, I am deceased. Stop what you are doing right now. I am literally shaking and I had to pull my car over into a random grocery store parking lot to film this because my brain is actively short-circuiting. Wait, we need to talk about this now. Send help. My soul has actually left my body. I was mid-Skinner routine this morning. Literally had a charcoal mask smeared all over my face. And when this episode ended, I shrieked so loud I dropped my jade roller and literally had to yeet my phone across the room. It is giving major I cannot even energy. And we are spilling all the tea right now because the absolute cinematic mayhem that just went down in Genoa City has permanently altered my brain chemistry. We are not just watching this show. We are invested and I am personally victimized by what the writers just did to my emotional stability. Okay, let me try to calm down, but I genuinely cannot. Let's start with the absolute tearjerker of the century between Nick and Adam. I'm literally hyperventilating right now just thinking about it. Adam is sitting there looking at his brother and he basically tells Nick that getting back into treatment as soon as possible is the most important thing in the world. And you guys, the vulnerability on Nick's face, I was sobbing. Nick looks at Adam completely broken and admits that he thinks he is going to be in the rehab center way longer than he originally expected. And then Nick asks Adam for a massive favor. He looks him dead in the eye and says, I need you to keep an eye on Christian. Wait, backtrack for a second. I missed a step. Because we need to talk about the sheer gravity of this request. Christian is biologically Adam's son, but Nick has raised him since he was a baby after Sage died. And Adam supposedly died in that cabin explosion. Did I say that yet? My brain is mush. Moving on. But seriously, the history between these two brothers fighting over this little boy has been years of toxic, bitter warfare. And now Nick is willingly handing over the reins to Adam because they are actually acting like a family. Nick straight up admits that he cannot be the father that Christian needs him to be right now. The self-awareness, the growth, the absolute tragedy of it all. I was on the floor and Adam, who usually has some snarky comment lined up, just softens completely and agrees to do it. They are genuinely bonding and I am living for this brotherly redemption art. Oh, hold on. I should have mentioned this earlier, but the lighting in this scene was so weirdly moody, like a literal Renaissance painting of despair, which just made the whole thing feel 10 times heavier. Anyway, just when I thought I could stop crying, Adam decides to drop a nuclear bomb on Nick's fragile emotional state. Because, of course, he does. Adam casually informs Nick that Matt Clark, yes, the actual demon spawn. Matt Clark has officially moved out of the Newman ranch and is now living with Phyllis Summers. Bestie, be for real right now. Phyllis is officially on my do not perceive list. I am so done. I am genuinely unwell over this. Why in the world is Phyllis letting this absolute psychopath move in with her? She is straight up making the worst decisions in the history of Genoa City. I know she's trying to play some twisted game of 4D chess to get back at Victor, but letting Matt Clark sleep under her roof, that is completely unhinged. Nick is obviously not happy about this news because Phyllis is the mother of his daughter Summer and Matt is the man who literally terrorized his entire family and caused his current downward spiral. But Nick, holding on by a literal thread, just nods and says he is going back to rehab anyway. Then the brothers hug. They hugged you guys. I was screaming into my throw pillow. Nick walks away and I genuinely thought, okay, he's gonna get help. Everything is going to be fine. Spoiler alert, I was a naive fool. Wait, I'm glitching. Okay, back to the main event. Before we get to the absolute disaster at the end of the episode, we have to talk about what happened at Crimson Lights. I need to take a sip of my coffee because my throat is dry from screaming. Okay, so Sharon and Mariah are hanging out at the coffee house and don't even get me started on the vibes of Crimson Lights lately. The aesthetic is always so cozy, but the trauma that happens in that place is astronomical. Sharon is having this incredibly deep emotional conversation with her daughter about forgiveness. Mariah is obviously going through absolute hell right now with Devin suing her and Tessa dealing with her own messy feelings. So she needs her mom. Sharon looks at Mariah and with all the wisdom of a woman who has been kidnapped, gaslit, and terrorized for decades. She says, "There are some people you can never forgive." And literally the second those words leave her mouth, who walks through the door? Matt freaking Clark. I actually screamed at my television. This cinematic timing, masterpiece. The audacity of this man, unmatched. He just strolls into Crimson Lights like he didn't just ruin all of their lives. Mariah turns around and locks eyes with him, and you can just feel the air get sucked out of the room. Sharon immediately goes into full protective mama bear mode. Matt, with that smug, disgusting little smirk on his face, looks at them and casually says he isn't there to bother them. Oh, sure, Matt. You just coincidentally walked into the exact coffee shop owned by the woman you traumatized while she was talking about unforgivable people. Sure, Jan. I am calling it right now. Matt's villain arc is about to go nuclear, and he is absolutely targeting Mariah next because she is vulnerable and isolated. He is a predator, and I am genuinely terrified for it. But wait, because if you thought that was the most stressful part of the episode, you are dead wrong. Remember how I said Nick walked away from Adam and was heading back to rehab? Yeah. Well, apparently the universe decided Nick hasn't suffered enough. We cut to a scene of Nick driving his car. It's dark. He looks completely exhausted, and the tension is so thick you could cut it with a knife. He is gripping the steering wheel, and he looks like he is fighting a literal war inside his own head. And then it happens. Nick reaches over and he has a pill, a literal drug pill, after everything he just promised Adam after crying about not being a good father to Christian. He is sitting there in the driver's seat, and you can see the exact moment his willpower just completely snaps. He cannot resist the pull of the addiction that Matt Clark forced onto him. He swallows the pill while he is actively driving a moving vehicle. I am literally shaking. Who does that? I mean, I know addiction is a horrible disease, but he is behind the wheel of a massive hunk of metal. The camera does this super dramatic close-up on his face as the drugs start to hit his system and his eyes get all glassy and his grip on the wheel loosens. My heart was pounding out of my chest. I am manifesting a total dumpster fire by the next update because this is a disaster waiting to happen. Nick is driving under the influence of heavy narcotics. He is completely out of his mind, swerving slightly, and the episode just ends with this ominous, horrifying feeling that a massive crash is about to happen. Are you kidding me? You can't just end the episode like that. Who is he going to hit? Is he going to drive off a cliff again? Is someone else on the road? What if he hits someone we love? What if he hits Mariah after she leaves the coffee house? Oh my God, my brain is spiraling into a million different worst-case scenarios. This specific betrayal of Nick's own promises has personally attacked my soul. I was rooting for him so hard when he hugged Adam. I thought we were getting a healing era, but no. The writer said, let's put him in a car while he's high out of his mind and see who dies.